Hey everybody, what's up? So something not a lot of people know about me is that I love to read different types of poetry when I have a chance, and I also like to write it. I know that's kind of weird, but one of my favorite poems, and I found out about this from Captain Dan, the Scurvy Crew, is the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, written by Samuel Taylor Coleridge in this book. Only poem by him I read. Should probably read the rest, but I only bought this book because of that poem. The idea behind the poem and the song, well, the song is kind of a little bit of a different telling of the story. This ancient mariner approaches a guy who's going to a wedding and he starts talking to him. And what ends up happening is when he talks to people, they listen to him. They have to, because he is cursed to wander the earth to tell this tale. What ends up happening is, if you've never heard of it, don't worry, I'm not going to explain everything. A ship is basically sailing, ends up near the South Pole, and this albatross appears. It's following the ship, and at one point, the captain shoots and kills the bird. Everybody starts getting pissed at him, and so eventually they get to a point where there's no wind, they're stuck. And so everybody starts getting pissed off at the captain. They put the albatross on his neck like a cross. And so everybody starts, getting thirsty. There's no food. And they see the ship approaching, which has death on it, and this lady, and basically they're playing for souls. Everybody dies, but the mariner. And so he says that he sees the hatred in their eyes, and he doesn't know what's going on. So he's laying there, and all of a sudden he sees the crew rise up from the dead, and how they basically have to take care of everything, the sails, and he helps them out. So he knows he's doomed for killing this albatross. And in the song, they actually have kind of like a crew member type thing where you actually have a discussion from that person's side. And eventually, the bodies lose their souls, and the mariner kind of finds out what his fate is. And through the song, the way it ends, you have to read the poem. It's free online. I just wanted to buy the book. I didn't until afterwards. Um, he finally comes to shore and he asks this guy for help, and they're kind of like, we're not sure, because this kid who's with this hermit basically says you roll like the devil, and he knows something's up. He knows he's been cursed. And so that's the story it follows along. And you have to feel bad for the guy who's at this wedding, because he has to listen to this tale. He's doomed to no matter what. And it's really interesting how Captain Dan and the rest of the crew really go about telling the story. Because imagine taking a poem and having to narrow it down to so many minutes. I know there's an 18-minute version done by another band. I can't think of who it is. I haven't listened to it yet. But the idea of turning this poem into rap, I'm sure a lot of the people have heard it, either looked up the poem or they've read it. It's just really fascinating, because it's basically old work turned into a new age. I think that pretty much helps it out, because a lot of people may listen to it and go, okay, this kind of makes sense. Then again, it's kind of odd. There's a lot from the poem. It's best to read it, but I love this song. And I've read this poem I don't know how many times. And that's the beauty of it. You have two pieces that work so well together, and how much they borrow, how much Captain Dan and the crew basically borrow from it, and how they really make it, how do I want to put it? It's like I just stop and I listen to it. It's like one of the songs I've heard on repeat because of the storytelling. And they have a lot of great stuff that tells, so many, stories. Like Blackbeard's Treasure is, a really interesting one. Um, that's another one of my favorites too. But another song they do is Flintlock Glock. I love that one. I actually want to get a flintlock pistol at some point tattooed on myself with the word Glock on it because I love that song. But yeah, I mean they're so interesting the way they follow with pirate slang and all this other stuff. Broadside, there's so many of them that I could list, but I'm not going to. But ultimately, I really suggest checking out the poem. I don't think you'll be disappointed, and then check out the song. It's on YouTube. And while you're at it, give these guys a listen. Just listen to a lot of their other stuff. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. I'm kind of like a fanboy side thing. I admit it. But yes, I definitely recommend reading the poem. Will I ever post any of my stuff online? Now you're probably thinking that because Nick, you're a nerd. I don't know. I would love to, but whatever. But yes, please go check them out. I'll leave a link to the video below that has the lyrics on it. I think it's from their official site. I'll double check. But yes, please check it out, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.